Christopher Nkunku made his Chelsea debut against Newcastle United, having been ruled out of action by an injury picked up against Borussia Dortmund in August. There has been nothing more anticipated than Christopher Nkunku making his debut in Chelsea's season. Stamford Bridge was forced to wait to see the new star when the French international picked up an injury in Chelsea's final pre-season match against Borussia Dortmund. Mauricio Pochettino hinted that Nkunku could return following the last international break, but there was still no sign of the 26-year-old at St. James Park in November. Even when he eventually made it back into the squad, the doubts of the Chelsea head coach ensured that the former RB Leipzig star remained on the bench and barely left his seat to warm up. The West London crowd were ready to make their voice heard on the mere mention of his name by the stadium announcer on Tuesday evening against Newcastle. With every trip along the touchline he was clapped, and the cheers did not wait for him to enter the pitch. When it was clear he would be coming on, was not quite the figure that came alive in and around the box over the summer, but displayed some positive touches as he attempts to acclimatize to a season already underway. Speaking after the game, Pochettino, as he has done consistently in recent weeks, urged caution over the expectations onlookers should have as Nkunku approaches a first Premier League outing. The head coach said, "Everyone can judge, yes, you are going to play, but the most important is in which form. Because the expectation is to see the best Nkunku, the problem is we need time for him to perform in the way we expect. One thing is to be available, another is performing to the way we expect. Too much pressure on him, day by day we are pushing him to arrive as soon as possible to his best to try to help the team in the way we expect." Well, there was clearly an element of Nkunku finding his way through the game. It should also be acknowledged that Nkunku for all intents and purposes is a new signing, something Pochettino is aware of. While that comes with a period of adjustment, it also sees new characteristics added to a young side. The Frenchman showed a few touches and movement of promise and delivered plenty of quality from the penalty spot. However, as a comparative veteran, Nkunku may quickly add another layer to the team. Not even a month ago, Pochettino's young side lost their heads and capitulated in the second period against Newcastle. On this occasion they came through strong. There were nervy and combative moments, but overall Chelsea dealt with them better than they did at St. James Park. They were up for the fight, but also able to return control. Something they were not able to do in the northeast when emotions were at their highest. After Bruno Guimaraes took out Ian Maatsen, with no concern for finding the ball, Mykhailo Mudryk was on hand to show the Blues would not be bullied. He had little support for the altercation initially, but confronted the Brazilian and may have even put his hand to his throat. As the line approached the possibility of being passed, Nkunku was on the scene, however, separating the duo and protecting his teammate from any possible punishment. Miguel Armayan had looked to outnumber Mudryk before Nkunku physically moved Guimaraes, and then went back to do the same to Jamal Lascelles with greater intent as the defender looked to intimidate Mudryk. In that moment Nkunku had a few words of his own, as Newcastle bodies kept appearing. Chelsea's young side is still learning, and finding the sweet spot in such moments will take time. Nkunku set the perfect example to follow. Combative and controlled. His presence will help Chelsea on the pitch, on the training ground and away